Hi guys, glad you could join me as I review the just ended league campaign in the Zambian Premier League. And so while it's generally accepted that in sport you either hit your target or learn from a lack thereof, it's also safe to look at the bigger picture and put it plain that they are both winners and losers. Here I sum up the two categories with a look at the top two divisions in the land with a greater bias toward the Super League. Talking about winners, it was a long time coming for one of the best in the land, Coach Oswald Mtapa, putting behind two relegations that he suffered before with National Assembly and another with Nkwazi to win the Super League, his first as a head coach, to add to the one that he won as a technical director at Trade Arrows, for a coach that was doubted in the first round after minor turbulences and even had some calling for his head. It was great to see him mount a fantastic charge in the second round of the league, going 14 games unbeaten. And so the overall result was thoroughly deserved. Calm as ever and sensibly conducting from the touchline. Simply put, what a man, what a campaign. Well done. Clearly, Power Dynamos are winners too. On the other side, you have Zanaco FC that lost their potential decider on the final day but still had other results go their way. A look at their numbers across the season suggests that they were uninspiring, yet they lived to fight for another day. They won 9 from 34, representing 26% win rate. They conceded a total of 1.2 goals per match and only scored 34 matches. What else shall we say then, apart from the fact that the football gods were on their side? Their season can be likened to one in a bikini. You know there is more there than they are actually showing, and the hope is that next season they will actually show us what more is under there. On the other divide, you have Coach Emmanuel Siwale. Similar to the demeanor that he carries, he quietly went about his business in charge of Zesco United as an interim coach. He led Zesco United to having the best defense in the league with 20 goals allowed and the fewest losses, that being only 5. And he delivered continental football for yet another season for the Ndola-based Giants, to also go with the Absa Cup glory that came with a cool 1 million kwacha. There can't be any better case for confirming one as a permanent boss if it is purely based on the delivery of results on the pitch. Simply put, he was solid. Elsewhere, Nkwazi FC comfortably finished 6th, while impressively conceding at 0.76 per match, and had they scored slightly more than the 0.9 per match that they scored, they would have finished higher. This is a team that had almost no preseason or erratic at best, also with reports of dissatisfied players, yet they delivered. After all, given who bankrolls them, I think it's not as if any less was expected. After all, they are men in uniform. Simply put, for them, they had a stellar campaign. On the other page, you would have to look at what you term the losers as well. Lumana Radiants come to mind, having at some point mounted an impressive 6 matches unbeaten run, collecting 16 points from a possible 18, and they dug themselves safely out of the relegation pit. However, they couldn't continue in replicating their good results and found themselves on the wrong side of the relegation divide. Given the fact that they are specialized at bouncing back, it would be a safe bet to think that they would be back in the top league. Moving on, the 17 draws and paltry 7 points came at a cost for Forest Rangers. Having changed coaches 3 times during the campaign, I think they paid the price for their indecision at the exco level and also their inefficiency in front of goal on the pitch. They were damned to unfamiliar territory and have to find a way to get back into the Super League. This may be uncomfortable, but given the pronouncements from Ghana FC when they got the summit of the table and didn't make it a secret of their ambition to win the league, to eventually finish 10 points off the top of the league and also 5 points off a possible consolation of CAF Confederations Cup football, it comes as a bad season for them. Now, given their well-publicized ambition, when the public jury comes out, I think it would be right for them to be found guilty of failure. A peep into the National Division 1 classifies Kabwe-based team Man United as winners. They had a rough start to their season, a debut one for them at this level, but they recovered impressively to finish 3rd and book a ticket to the promised land, where unfortunately neither milk nor honey awaits them but the cold blows of Super League football. To get it right, they must prepare adequately. What shall we say then about a team like Trident FC, a side that had qualified for Super League football even before playing their decider? Well, we say qualified based on their posts on their official socials. While we can't fault them for being positive, it was just surprising to think that they thought they would get an easy ride over Aguila Stars, a side with the 5th best defense in their division. The barren draw on the final day consigned them to yet another season away from top-flight football. Safe to say, they lost on this instance. They are losers. And so, in conclusion, I would say, like many others before it was the mixed bag season. The preparation for the next one starts immediately, and part of winning next season could largely depend on the sagacity in the market of reinforcements and exits as far as the players are concerned, and also the choices of who will lead the men on the pitch from the dugout between now